Look, if you remove the bullshit from religion, if you lose 80% of your religion, what's left over is a cool story. I love cool stories because of my grandfather. I called him Baba. He was the greatest storyteller I ever met. I lost him last year, saddest day of my life. The next day, all we could do was sit around and tell stories about how he told cool stories. This beautiful mix of just grief and plagiarism, to be honest. And the best thing about his stories was that they had no relevance to the conversation you were trying to have. He just decided to say that shit. My first heartbreak, I was 16 years old. I ran to him. Baba Saba left me. What do I do? He said, one day I tied your father to a tree and beat him. Then I got thirsty, went into the house, had some pani, came out, beat him some more. Which is not the appropriate answer to my question. Or when you think about it, is the appropriate answer to every question. Because at that moment, you're not thinking about your breakup. You're just thinking, this dude's a badass. Who hydrates in the middle of child abuse? My granddad taught me that 80% of this honesty that we value so much in each other is unnecessary. If you can tell beautiful, truly beautiful lies, guys, the entire universe will conspire to make those lies a reality. I submit to you Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a lie made up by a lady in Scotland, but it's a beautiful lie that children believed they made it a reality. There are movies, merchandise, theme parks. If you go to King's Cross Station in London, you will see a pillar that actually says platform 9 3/4. It's actually there. And you can watch as stupid children run 60 feet into bricks and fall off stupider than when they came to the station. Awesome. Because they believe a beautiful lie. Now, before I tell you my next story, are there any Sardars or Sikh gentlemen in the audience? I believe that 99.9999348% of Sardars are incredibly intelligent individuals. Cool? Now, if you apply that percentage to the total Sikh population of the world, that leaves 3. And those 3 Sardars are in my next story. Now, when I was 12 years old... Hey, you said we were cool, man. When I was 12 years old, my best friend Damandeep got appendicitis. It was very serious. His appendix ruptured, but that was not the beautiful lie he told me. He said, man, one day my stomach was hurting. I told them, ate ice cream for 2 weeks and skipped my exams. And I believed the beautiful lie. So I waited 4 months for my opportunity. In the middle of class, I raised my hand. Excuse me, ma'am. My stomach is hurting. I believe I have appendicitis. And my teacher was like, I think that boy's gay. So now I'm just in the hospital eating ice cream for 2 weeks. Every now and then a doctor comes and pokes my stomach. I make a noise, and the doctors believe the beautiful lie. And I am thinking more ice cream. Except they are thinking road trip. So I get driven down to Chandigarh to Sector 37 to Santosh Singh Nursing Home. It is Friday night, 3 o'clock in the morning. There are 2 Sardar doctors with surgical masks looking down on me, of which one is Dr. Santokh. So clearly not a fancy hospital, more of a cottage industry family business setup. Kind of scary. Imagine you boarded a Lufthansa flight and your pilot was Captain Thanza. They put a plastic cup on my face. I hear sss, which worries me. It's not a Punjabi sound I'm familiar with. If the machine went brrrr, I'm on board. They're like, Veer, could you count from 1 to 20? Which I do. And the Sardars are suitably impressed. And fuck, man. All right. And now all 3 of us are just awkwardly looking at each other because everybody in the hospital is still very much awake. So now the 2 Sardars have a conversation. I think he's still awake. Hanji? Really? What gave it away, huh? Was it the fact that his eyes are open and he's looking at us right now? Hey, fuck you, Bunty, don't give me attitude, alright? Veer, could you sing the national anthem? So naked. Lying down on a bed, I go, ya, ya, ga, ya, ma, ya, and pass out. Now, Indians, I know why you're upset. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, he didn't stand for the national anthem. Even Americans are like, could he take a knee? No, I couldn't fucking take a knee. I wake up 12 hours later, Dr. Santok is standing above me looking very pissed off because he has stopped believing the beautiful lie. And he says, Veer, beta, your stomach was not hurting, was it? So shut up! We could get into so much trouble if people found out that 2 Sardar doctors could not tell a 12-year-old was lying to them. Because when we opened you up, we found a perfectly healthy appendix in there. So we removed it anyway. And that's the power of a beautiful lie. You can give yourself appendicitis. Wait, what? You guys don't believe me? Really? Who believes me? Raise your hands. Who doesn't believe me? Raise your hands. I'm hurt, San Francisco. I'm legit hurt. Has anybody here had appendicitis? Have you had appendicitis? Raise your hands if you have. Yeah, buddy? Do you have a scar? How big is it? Is it about that big? About that big? Yeah? Is it this big? Oh, shit just got real, huh, San Francisco, huh? That's pretty big, right? That means when they were in there, they looked around and shit. There was a normal Punjabi surgery happening. Bolo tararara. You think the 2 Sardars had a conversation? Bunty, do you see a perfectly healthy appendix? No, Santok, it looks kind of disheveled and it's curving to the left. Bunty, that's not his appendix. So now I just lie, and everybody around me is happier for it, I think. Look how happy you look right now. Maybe it's because half the shit that I've told you tonight is a complete lie. Maybe. I never grew up in Africa. I never did a world tour. My granddad isn't even dead. We flew him in for the Netflix special. Baba, just stand up and take a bow, please. Okay, my granddad actually is dead, but how much fun was that lie? That was fun. That was fun, guys. That was fun.